In this video, we will implement the login API so that user can log in. Before we write the API, we have to extend our user schema so that it has the ability to compare a password from request.body.password and the one in the database, which is the hash version. Let's go and do that. Go to your models and click user.js, and underneath this pre-save, you want to type user schema methods.compare password. So we are attaching a method which is a compare password to our user schema object equals to function and a password from request.body.password and as well as a callback, which is next. And here you want to type let user equals to this. This refers to the user itself. And then we want to return bcrypt.compareSing. This is a new function from bcrypt. And then we pass in the password and the password in the database, which will be user.password. That's it. As easy as that to compare password from the one that you type in, which is the request.body.password, and the one in the database. We cannot use arrow function in here because if we do use, we cannot access the this keyword. Bcrypt will simply unhash the user.password in the database and check whether it is the same or not with the one that the user sent, which is the request.body. So now we can write the login API because we have the compare password functionality. So let's go to auth.js and underneath profile route, add a node which will be login route. And then it will be router.post. And then auth login, as usual, async request and response, and then you want to do try and catch. And here let found user equals to await user.find1. And since the user is a login, usually user enters email and then password, so we have to check the email whether it exists or not in the database, request.body.email. And then if the user doesn't exist, then we simply respond with a status that says JSON success false, and then a message which will be authentication fail, user not found. Else, if the email does exist, then only we want to compare the password in the database. So if found user dot compare password, because we have attached the compare password to our user schema, now we can access the method that we just created, and we pass in request.body dot password. If it's true, then you want to wrap this found user object in a token so that we can communicate with our client. So let token equals to jwt.sign found user dot to JSON, and then we pass in the secret and obviously when it will expire, which will be expires in 604-800, which will be 1 week. And then after this we want to return. After this we want to respond with success true, and then the token itself. So let's say the password is wrong, we just want to do else res.status 403 JSON success will be false, and then a message will be authentication fail, pass wrong password. And as well as in catch, if there's any error other than compare password or user is not found, then we can just simply copy this and paste it here. So let's go through the code line by line. So first we check in the database whether the email exists or not. If the email doesn't exist, then we simply want to send a JSON. We'll say authentication failed, user not found. Else, if the user does exist in the database, we want to check the password. Let's say if the user entered a wrong password, then we want to go to this part, which is else. If the password is correct, then we want to wrap the user's object in a token, and then we want to respond to that token. to the client, so the client can store a token in the browser. So if there's any other error other than this two, then we simply just we just write internal server error, like maybe there's some misspell and so on. Then we'll go to this part. So let's test out this API. Let's go to our Postman. So open a new tab, localhost 3000 API of login, and then we change this to post type body and email, and it will be TonyStark@gmail.com. Let's just make it like this to see what's the response. And we type ABC123, send, and we're gonna get authentication fail, user not found. So let's remove this and see the next response. Wrong password, because our password is wrong. If you go back here, if you copy I love Avengers, and guess what? It will return a token because the password is correct. We found the user. Now wrap this user's object in a token so that we can send this to the client. So our API is working. So in the next video, we are going to create a sign up page, a login page, and a profile page so that we can use all the APIs that we just created. I'll see you guys in the next video.